Fam, you the
Whoa.
host, fam. Good. You good.
Okay, I'm just asking to be sure. Come on now. Cut me a break. Cut me a check. Give me $1. All right, you guys. What's up again? Happy Sunday night family time call. Super fired up to be to have us be the guest speaker. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the call, is to be able to kind of take control for a little bit, but at the same time be able to edify the guest speaker, which we'll do that in a little bit, and then also just to see, how powerful everybody's week was and weekend, and see who had LDWs, or if anybody just want to share, a powerful moment or something really, really exciting that happened throughout the week and or weekend. We're now going to open up the floor, let you guys go and do some sharing. Sanchez.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I just had an LDW, and typically you'll be super excited about the LDW, but I'm actually not even thankful for that. What I'm thankful for is Steven giving you that chain.
Oh.
Got to pass down the throne, man. Passing the torch.
Hey, yes, I appreciate that, Sanchez. You know I'm all about duplication. So if the upline is doing it and he's at a level that I'm at, that's just what has to happen. You don't ask no questions, you just do it. So I appreciate you for that one. Let's get some more positive shares. There it is. Let's go. Who's next?
Yo, I say, yo.
Thomas.
Oh, beat you. Check it out. This is Thomas Hicks, World Team, Racine, Wisconsin, and I just had an LDW in Minneapolis. And here's one of the nuggets that I got. Still driving, don't even got the book in front of me off the dome. Check it out. So one of the nuggets that I got is that nowadays people tend to be people that they're not. So one of the things that they have harped on is, maybe your business isn't growing because it's not you, right? It's not really you. You can't really toe dip in this business. You can, but obviously your benefits it'll reflect in your business. But the reason why you don't want to toe dip, if so and so is posting this lavish lifestyle and they're going to all of these events and living this way and that way, and you're trying to mimic it, it's not really one of your core values, because it's not really what you hold important. One of the speakers had 2 boxes on the stage, and she was like, she had 10 core values in it. And let's just say, for example, one of them was success, for example. And obviously other people in the audience, their one of their values might have been success too. But the way she broke it down is like what it meant to her. It didn't mean that same thing to other people. So, you can't really take the way she used it and benefit the way you need to use it. You had to make it your own. You had to, apply it to yourself and actually benefit from it in the way that you personally need to. So that was one of the things I took from it. And I was kind of in reference to how what ET was kind of saying about those core values and things like that. So, yeah, pass it back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Thomas. Appreciate that. Thomas and I and Kylie, of course, we were all at the same LDW, so we got a lot of the same nuggets. So he was listening, just so y'all know. Who else?
I go.
Jay Flex.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we definitely.
What's up, y'all? All right, so I had an LDW as well. We had Trey and Mamie Heron, 15K president team member. So I mean, it was a powerful weekend, man. Like, I posted some stuff in the group as well, like the little social media stuff, and like he was just going like basically like how how some of us, how we share other like posts and like say, okay, like say you see, like you follow a celebrity or something, and say if it's something like negative or something, and then you post it, you're not doing nothing but making them like that video more like, more popular or whatever, like say if you like, you trying to stop doing like say negativity, or you want to stop spreading it, don't go and post, like stuff like that, because you ain't doing nothing like that, making it popular, you're just making it more like getting out there. It's like, cause somebody else gonna share it, then that person gonna share it, so they would like just be very intentional, like with your post. And what's another thing she was saying? One quote they said is, "Don't go looking for an example, be the example." And I was like, that's like powerful right there. I was just like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to just lead from the front. Like, you can't just, like, expect things just going to fall in your lap, man. You got to go after it. You got to go after it. Like, you can't just expect stuff that's going to happen for you. And then another thing is, she said about when you, like, talking to clients and stuff like that is, like, when you talking to clients, you want to have a conversation and not an interrogation. Because you know how you know how like jail people do they interrogate you and everything. You don't want to have that with your clients and stuff. You want to build that relationship. You want to have that conversation because you want to pay attention to everything that they say. You don't want to have it like an interrogation, like, oh, what are your products, or why are you not doing this, like this and that. You can't be so demanding. You have to really listen to what your clients say, because your clients is the one that's getting you the president's team. They getting you to get team or whatever it may be. They the one getting you the documented value. You know what I'm saying? And those clients are eventually gonna turn into members. So that's like my preferred members I have. I mean, yeah, I want them to be, you know what I'm saying, coaches. I got 8, which I'm so proud of. That's why I said I never gave up. I've been in this business for 4 years. I got 8 preferred members. Think about if I quit. Where would I be at? I would not be here with y'all guys. I mean, like I said, I've been here for 4 years. I got 8 preferred members. I would never met them people if I gave up. So it's just like you gotta stay focused, stop your distractions, and feed your focus. And that's what I'm doing. And that's all I have to say.
Hey,
awesome.
Appreciate you, Jay Flex. And yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Appreciate you. All right, let's take a few more.
I'm on, baby.
I'll go.
Hey.
I'm on, baby. I don't know who that was. Was your Adrian? Was that you? Sorry, you gotta be faster than that, baby. Anyways, Steven here. I didn't have an LDW. First off, y'all gonna stop yelling while I'm trying to get my share. Kids think that they can run around here and do what they want to do. But I didn't have an LDW this week. Ours was a few weeks ago. But I actually got to spend the week in Costa Rica celebrating my 30th birthday. And for me, why it was significant and why it was important is the fact that I was still able to do business while I was in another country. I actually got like 6 contacts when I was in Costa Rica from people, that were, in the country or out of the country, people from the United States. Just the fact that I'm able to still work and still earn income while on vacation. Most people spend their time on vacation like spending money, and I was actually earning money on vacation, which is for me a big positive. Also, the AP calls that we just had, the client calls that we just had, I'm really excited for the growth that we have. I'm excited to see most of your faces, all day, every single Sunday. I'm excited for this little country girl that's going to get on here and tell her story. Y'all don't laugh at her because she's like literally like is like the countryest person I ever heard talk in my life. But I love it, her. She's dope. So I'm excited to hear her story. Y'all just make sure y'all pay attention. But that's all I gotta say because these kids is going crazy. What up, Kimmy? I miss your hair.
Appreciate you, cuzzo. All right, I heard somebody on mute there.
Mine.
There it is. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm Adrian from the East Coast. We had an LDW2 out in Philly. We had Dennis Dowdell and Celeste Richmond. Dennis Dowdell's been in the business since it started, basically 37 years. So we got all of that this weekend. It was everything life-changing. The 2 things I wanted to share are, he said, go out looking for no's. Like, just go out looking for 10. So, go out looking for 10 to 100 no's. Like, either way, you'll get a yes. So just go out and keep it as basic as, ask somebody, you wouldn't want to lose 10 pounds, would you? Ask 20 people that, and somebody's going to say yes. Somebody's going to keep slamming the door in your face, and somebody, door-to-door salesman, like a vacuum cleaner salesman, but it's really that simple. You wouldn't want to lose 10 pounds, would you? You wouldn't want a health coach, would you? Keep it simple like that. Eventually, you'll get a yes. And the second thing is, what 3 things do you need in order to change everything? And then what difference would it make? So whether it be organization, you need to fix your follow-up schedule, find the 3 things, and then think about what difference would it actually make? Why do you need those 3 things? and then pick the one that stood out to you the most. Like drop everything, because people try to work on like too many things at once that actually do like nothing. You end up going nowhere. So drop everything else and focus on that one thing as a part of your new 90-day plan, and work on it diligently. Sorry, and see where it gets you. That's it.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. So we stopping it there because Kylie and I would like to share a little bit of what we were able to be impacted by this weekend. Our guest speakers was Kurt O'Connell and Lisa Arnold. And man, I know Thomas can vouch for us, but it was a powerful weekend for us. And I'm just gonna share just one thing about it, and I'm gonna have Kylie go ahead and finish the rest, because as you guys know, we're together. Kylando, whatever I write on my notes be on her notes, but like just in different words switched around. It's just crazy how it works, but I'm grateful for that because we're always on alignment on the same page. So what happened is, and this is crazy when you come to an event, it's always, if you're present, it's always perfect timing for the situation that you are in Herbalife, because you can always relate, no matter if it's a male or female. As long as you're listening and you're present, you can grab something from it. So I swear Kylie and I said, like, on the breaks, like, this woman is talking to us. Lisa Arnold is talking to us. So what I really got from her is that she constantly used the analogy of the Michael Jackson analogy, the man in the mirror. It's the woman in the mirror for her. But like anytime, your business is doing this, your business is doing that, or if like, your teammates are doing this or not doing that, usually, typically, we like to start pointing fingers. Everybody's, I'm sure, can relate. But what was really awesome is that every time she started talking about things like that, she raised her hands up, and her hands were basically being like a mirror. So at the end of the day, like, as you're pointing fingers, recognize that you need to be a better you. You need to better yourself. It starts with you. Anything and everything starts with you. Anytime your business is going up or down, because you can still earn your worth and take credit for your business excelling. But at the same time, when it's starting to go down or kind of just stay at a halt and you're thinking you're stuck, it's time to pull up that mirror. And she was saying that every single second she got up, and it really like impacted me, and I know it impacted Kylie because, we were talking about it earlier as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw her the ball. She gonna dunk it.
Awesome. So like he said, honestly, us leaving LDW, it's our favorite event to go to, obviously, besides Extravaganza. But like he said, we went in with such strong intentions of what we really wanted to get out of it. So when we were at the tab team training on Friday and she kept saying that and pulling up the mirror, I was like in tears like 3 different times. And I was like, oh gosh, this week I'm going to be a mess. But anyways, so that was both of our main takeaways. But the other part, one of my favorite sections at LDW is the personal development section. So they had Amy Hendricks do it today, which she's executive president's team member with her husband, Sam Hendricks. They're powerful leaders in Minnesota. But it's kind of what Thomas talked about as far as the values. And we've heard Brad Harris speak before, and he's went into values, but I didn't really connect as much as I did today. But anyways, it's similar to what Thomas was saying as far as your buckets, like my values, someone else's, and really standing firm in what is yours. And she had people stand up, and she showed 3 different words. And it's funny because like you see like the word, which one was it? Oh, stability. And I was like thinking in my head, I was like, is that one of my core values? And I didn't really know. And someone stood up and like said something, and she's like, if it's your core value based, if you can say like, I am like stable and like a phrase after it. And like, she's like, usually you'll get goosebumps from it. And it was really impactful as far as like, she did 3 different words, and that one didn't connect with us, but respect was one that came out, and this girl stood up and shared what her definition of respect was. And like it brought goosebumps to me. So it's like finding like what your core values are, and then not grabbing out of other people's buckets as far as, oh, I think that's my core value, or I think this one is, because then that, like she's saying, like, don't grab out of others when you're down or failing, because that's not your core value, and that's going to represent different meaning. So it really was powerful as far as even when we all are going to LDW this month and you see someone powerful on stage, like, okay, I want to do that, but that's not within what you are as a person. And that was really impactful for that. But it was an amazing weekend. We're just getting home, and we are super fired up. We love family time every week, and we are super fired up for this guest speaker.
Yes. Okay, cool. So before I do some edification, I just want to go through everybody's hype ups, I like to call them. Adrian, I appreciate the compliment. It's all about duplication, so you know I had to grab the chain for your boy. Okay, and by the way, my name was Jerome last night.
If anyone hasn't seen what his costume was last night, please go on Facebook. It was hilarious.
So that happened. I was making a lot of phone calls, putting in a lot of orders. But again, Thomas, Kylie just talked about it. You had said being the people that they're not. That was huge. So I thank you for bringing that up. Don't be posting, trying to duplicate somebody in the wrong ways. Be yourself. Jay Irwin, thank you for sharing. Like the negativity posts and things like that's very important. A lot of people you see on your feed are already negative, and if you're sharing that, bringing that attention, that's a no because we do Herbalife, we stay positive. So let's resonate with the positive things, not the negative. Steven, Costa Rica vacation, I seen it was cracking, and that's exactly what we're chasing right now, to be able to go overseas and do that kind of vacationing, and then being able to not just spend money but also get paid, so that we can bloop bloop bloop. Oh, now we can go snorkeling. Bloop bloop bloop. Bloop bloop bloop. You know what the bloops mean. And then also Adrian from the East Coast. Dennis Dowdell is amazing. We were able to hear him as well. And the looking for the nose, that's like reverse psychology. We're all about that. So I appreciate you sharing that as well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the guest speaker. She's going to go ahead and share her story and whatever else, really comes from the heart from her, because that's exactly what she does on every one of her posts in person. That's most important. That's what I really love about Amanda, is that the things that she posts, how she's smiling in her post, how she's acting in her post is the same person. We meet in Extravaganza, like we connect with her. Like if you guys are aware, which everybody is, because most people on here, some are not, but are sidelines and not directly in the organization. It's really powerful to be able to go to somebody in person and still feel that same energy that you feel in the post, and that you're looking at and trying to get inspired from, both on both ends of the stick. So I'm not going to really speak too much more on her, because we have never personally heard her full story. We just, see what we see and ask questions. But she has also helped our business a lot. That's what's awesome about Herbalife. It does not matter the pin, because you can learn from anybody. You just got to ask, and you got to just believe in yourself and not think that you are up here on a higher level than somebody. And that's just what I really love about Herbalife. So without further ado, Amanda, take the stage and let's get it. I got my notebook. Let's go.
Hey, fire me up. So for those who are on the call, I see a lot of people's faces not being shown. One of the most important things that I like to tell my team is that the speaker, whoever's speaking, feeds off of your energy. And so I feed off of whatever I say based on your expressions. Like I'm very big on expressions and like nonverbal communication. So whatever I see y'all doing, if y'all are paying attention, I'm going to fire you up even more than you're probably firing me up. Okay. So all I ask is to show faces, fire the chat up, because that's where it's at. Right. Okay. So for those who don't know me, my name is Amanda Ulbrich. I'm an active world team member 2017. Yes. Requalified. I am originally from a very small town called Orange, Texas, right? I've lived in many different places since then, but I'm going to kind of take you on just a basic journey. But before I do, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I chose Herbalife, right? Herbalife actually came into my life whenever I lost my ambitious spark, right? I lost the goal-oriented, ambitious spark. So when I took a look at the Herbalife, just in general, the results, the positivity, the energy, I was drawn to that. I was in a very dark space in my life. I actually didn't think that I looked bad. I just felt completely lost. So whenever I discovered Herbalife, it literally brought energy into my life. It brought the results. And from there, it was just, I was a yes no matter what. So my first 3 weeks on my health program, I was down 10 freaking pounds. I was like, where did these pounds drop from, right? So most importantly, I just felt absolutely amazing, right? And so went on to lose 28 pounds first 3 months in Herbalife. I love to say that, I barely worked out because I barely had time to work out. So I really focused on, you should have seen me. I was like measuring my meals. I was like setting my schedule on my alarms on my phone. I was on point with it. So I take much pride in telling people that the power of nutrition backed behind it is amazing, right? And so with losing the weight the first 3 weeks, I immediately hopped on the opportunity because with me, I share everything from the heart, like Orlando said. And I started sharing it on social media, and people were asking me, right? I was from a small town, and so that's why the accent is so heavy. But with that, a lot of people were like inspired by it, right? They were like, what are you doing? You look amazing. But they said, you like your way you're acting is totally different. They were like, whatever it is, like I need some of that. Okay. And so, also people from my college town were actually asking me as well too. So it all tied into one. Not a lot of the times you'll meet someone that it'll all literally just happen all at once, right? So the business aspect, I immediately signed up after being on my nutrition program. I signed up on February 28th, and I already knew the marketing plan. I already knew I had to make my first order March 1st so I can hit senior consultant within that month. I did it in 3 days, went on 2.5 weeks to hit qualified producer. And I kind of stood still at qualified producer because within that month, that was March, within that month, I had actually rewind. When I moved to Houston, I had moved in with a guy that I was in a relationship for 2.5 years. And so living with him was a little different. About 4 months in, it just was not working out. And I knew it wasn't working out for me. So, talked about it. It wasn't a terrible breakup, but what it was something that just needed to happen, right? And so whenever that happened, I was kind of like lost, right? I had no job lined up. I filed for unemployment. I literally couldn't use my degree. And so whenever that happened, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do something, right? And so when March came, whenever I was rolling in the business, I came to the STS, but I didn't stay past the free part because I didn't have money to be at the event past the free part. And at the time, Houston STS was really small. And so whenever that happened, I kind of left because just stress, and I was getting ready to move out the apartment, and it was just a little chaotic, right? So my first real event was April LDW 2014. I was so fired up about going. I was like qualified producer, and at the time it was 5,000 volume points to get to a supervisor. And so, like a month and a half goes by, and like 2 months. And so being that April is like LDW, and it's like towards the end of the month, it was Celeste Richmond and Danny Edwards. Knew nothing about them, just knew I was going, and I showed up. I was broke like no joke, but I was there. I was present. And the most important thing about that I got out of that event is, you just have to take massive action. You had to literally are in a room with powerful people. And at the time, Sharif was getting pinned Millionaire Team. Celeste was like on fire. I resonated with her just like from the get-go. She's a very empowering woman, motivated me, inspired me. I wanted to commit to going to Extravaganza, and it was Chicago Extravaganza. I wanted to commit, and I wanted to show the people around me that I was fully committed. I most importantly wanted to show my uplines that I was in it to win it, right? And so whenever I committed, I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to buy the ticket? I closed supervisor at that event, and I hustled that weekend. Like, I was so focused at an event. After I got out the room, I was like putting whatever into action, closed supervisor, was able to retail, buy my ticket at the event, early bird. And then, from there on out, I'm going to tell you, it was all happening so fast. I literally came out of May, I hit World Team 1 month. I did 11,000 volume points. And then 3 months later, I qualified fully active World Team with 1 supervisor on the team. And then, I'm just rocking and rolling. But what was happening during that time, and I'm going to tell you what was happening, is I was still going out partying, and I was partying with that 1 supervisor who was my best friend. We were drinking. We were in the bar scene. I thought I was successful at that time, right? And so you kind of put your life on hold, and I didn't understand what it was doing to my business and why I wasn't retaining clients and, having to hustle harder. Mind you, still doing higher volume, still hitting my cuts. And so let me just fast forward. 2015 was a very big learning year. I didn't requalify as active world team. Obviously, still was able to get into the trainings that they had on active world team and up trainings, because obviously they do 2 years span. And so fully requalified in 2016 as active world team. And then that was at the end of the year. And then at the beginning of the year, fully qualified 2017 active world team. So let me kind of take you through just previously a little bit, or before Herbalife, being that I literally graduated and I moved out. I was like, I'm gone 2 weeks after graduation, right? I was so ambitious and hungry to get out of where I was from and just make something of myself, right? I grew up in an alcoholic family. I was like, from friend to friend, trying to make good grades in school so I can focus, so we can have somewhere to sleep. We would eat at our friend's house, and my mom did what she could do with the time that she had to raise, me and my older sister. And so I had a very rough childhood. All I remember is just looking at my childhood and just being like, I know I can do better than this whenever I get older. I will not put my family in, the predicaments that I've grown up in. So I knew once I graduated, it was on and popping. So whenever I made the decision to go to Corpus Christi, because I had my dad's side of the family there. So whenever I moved to Corpus, my plan, I enrolled in a 3-year pre-med degree program, and we're going to graduate. I came in with like 0 credits. So when I tell you it was a fast track, I don't even remember how I had fun, but I had fun. T would have been life in college. I don't know, remember even sleeping sometimes. I was like nap queen on campus, like all over again. So I'm taking like literally hours after hours. Mind you, I put myself through college. I'm proud to say that I graduated with 0 debt because Amanda had 3 jobs in college. I worked at an ER. I worked for a private doctor, and I worked on campus. And on campus was kind of like 2 jobs in one. So I had like literally 4 jobs. So I was on campus at all times. It just was happening so fast for me, right? And so to say I graduated at the age of 21 and with just so much thrown at me, the doctor that I was working for really he loved my work ethic. He was like, I'll hire you on full time. I'll put you through medical school. You'll come work for me as whatever physician assistant will do this. And I just was like, whoa, those are big commitments. I don't think I can do that. So I stayed a year later, worked for him, helped him open a private practice. And by the way, he was a plastic surgeon. So I saw a lot behind the scenes work of, things being undone ethically. And just, I was like, I don't want this lifestyle. And I saw him basically just, not spending time with his kid. He had 4 beautiful girls that I would babysit as well on top of working for him. And they didn't have no time with their father. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine this, being a doctor and having this lifestyle. So that's whenever I moved to Houston. And like I said, I found, Herbalife. I was there for 3 amazing years of growth. Every year I moved to a different, and with a different set of roommates. And then my last year that I was there, I found myself in like a ghetto part of Houston. And I literally had to take a look at where I was at, my surroundings, the financial stability that I was going through. And I was like, I'm better than this. So in 2016 was a very big revamp. I actually, at the end of 2015, December, was the first time I never hit my 2,500, right? I think I did 1,300 volume points that month. And that's whenever I looked at my, my business, and I was like, what can I do to actually enhance, my business this month? So I focused on 3-day trial packs, right? Like I never really knew how I was going to work them, but I focused on 3-day trial packs. That month I got 43-day trial packs out. It was the craziest month ever. I didn't hit my cut, but I got 40 seeds planted, because guess what that entails at the beginning of January. I already knew what I was doing. So January Flourish, I literally popped like 7 new distributors, all hitting 500 volume points. I got numerous amount of discounted customers because they weren't known as preferred members at that time. I got customers on deck. Like that beginning of 2016, I literally was qualifying like for all the events like VIP. I literally qualified for all of 2016. I qualified for all VIP at all the main events. And I was just like on fire because of that little downfall. I literally had a powerful setup, right? And so I talk about that in 2015 was like a very good learning experience. So some of the things that I did in this time, and so a lot of people are like, how do you overcome these things that you go through, right? And so I actually did this in 2014. I started looking at after the leadership development weekend, I started looking at my life and how good of a leader I was. And I said, how can I be a better leader? And that's whenever I literally started a gratitude journal. And what I did for 90 days, that was my 90-day plan, is I wrote in a gratitude journal things that I was grateful for. But I didn't just write things that I was grateful for, because it's so easy to do that, right? And everything that you do has to be attached to a why. So I wrote why I was grateful for those things, right? And it literally took some time, but it was something that I did every single night. Right before bed, I did 10 things. And so that manifested into, not doing it in 2015. And I wondered why that was a terrible year. And then, 2015, I actually had a reality check with just myself, and I had a very bad incident happen in the end of November 2015. And so I decided that I wasn't going to drink, because you have those bad experiences and you're like, I'm done with alcohol. And you'll all say that. I know you all say that whenever you like have something happen. But then in January, my father passed away, right? So I'm going to try not to get emotional, because this is something that I can't tell you what to do, but what it did for me is it really put into perspective, like, the fact that he was an alcoholic and the fact that he had multiple surgeries at the end of 2015, and that he wasn't ready to progress in his life. And then, he passed away from a heart attack. And when that happened, I just was like, I'm never picking it back up. That was it. It's just something that just came over me, and I was like, I'm just not going to do it. So at the end of November of this year will be 2 years that I've had any alcohol, no sip, no nothing. That's it. It's completely not possessing over me. So whatever it is that you have to let go, that's something you have to let go. And what attached with that, it attached to the Amanda that leans on guys for things. It attached to the Amanda that was a different person whenever she drank. It attached to a crazy person. It attached to basically someone who was ungrateful but didn't show it. I literally was just like a numb person whenever I drank. I think I drank just to feel the numbness that was inside me, and that I had to be around, people in order to have fun and have alcohol. My sister and I realized that, no, Amanda has fun. Like, I don't need it, right? So I picked up gratitude again in 2016. And what I picked up, though, is I heard Tara Malia at our event say, and Deontay's on the call. I think I saw him on the call. She had challenged us to, not just write that what we're grateful for, but write the current situation, like, what are you grateful for? And on the opposite piece of the paper. So if you can see, like, writing one thing on one side and then the other side, write in the future what you're grateful for, right? And so one thing that I can tell you is, if you law of attraction and manifestation is the realest thing that could ever happen. Because at the end of 2015, I started having car trouble. And then all of 2016, I was like investing in my car, like I was moving. I was like in a bad state financially, but I was qualifying for everything in my business, because I was like, I'm working on myself. I may not see the results now. I may not understand what's going on. So what I decided to do was, after I left Extravaganza, I said, I'm moving back to Corpus. I am doing Herbalife full time. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to be a no matter what. I'm going to qualify for everything. I'm going to start my gratitude journal. So in November, I moved on Thanksgiving Day back to Corpus Christi. And that was like the best decision I ever made. And like when I tell you, there's things you have to give up. I gave up drinking. I also sold everything that I owned in my house, including my furniture. I started just giving stuff away. And, you know, I wasn't attached to anything. I legit moved with whatever I had in my car because I knew that it was going to take for me to unleash something within inside of me, right? And so whenever I moved, I literally was like, okay, like I got to go back to work, right? I got to get back in action. So I started the gratitude journal that Tara Malia said. And what I did is I started, you know, writing things that I was going to attract back into my life, and things like my car. I used to, you know, say, I'm grateful for my car. Cause you know, whenever you have car trouble, like I'm grateful, I'm forever grateful. And I would be like, I'm grateful for, and I would like put a brand new car. And I always say Mercedes Benz, you know, in little things like that, I'd be like, I'm grateful for, you know, my life and then God's plan. I literally would do this, right? And so I would actually post it online too and just manifest it and just whatever. So the end of 2016, car broke down, got stranded, was trying to go see my family. Transmission was just shot. It was a used car that I had bought just because something happened to my other car. And so I was like, oh my gosh, well, that's just another thing. I just went full time with Herbalife. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Right. And so at the beginning of 2017, I had a lot of already stuff happening, but I had literally prepared for it. So I manifested, I got a brand new car. I was basically paying the same car note that I was on a 2010 car that I had that was used, that had like 70,000+ miles on it. And so little things like that I was manifesting. And whenever January came, I was traveling like November, December, January, February. I literally was traveling to different places, like seeing different friends, my friends in Houston, my friends all over. I was meeting clients, and I literally would like fly to them and like meet them in person. It was the most amazing experiences that I've ever had because it taught me a lot about myself. People are like, you're freaking crazy. Like, what are you doing? But it released because I am a traveler. I find that brings out a side of me that I didn't know that I had. I'm stimulated by traveling. And so whatever you find that you're stimulated by, do more of that, because that will literally lead to your success in Herbalife and life in general. And so I traveled a lot, and things that I would do basically during that time is just working on myself. I was doing PD in the morning and PD at night. I would wake up listening to Jim Rome or Mark Hughes, and I would go to sleep, you know, listening to one of them either. And then in the morning, I would listen to Lisa Nichols or Sarah Jakes, and then at night I would listen to Jim Rohn. I would just listen to the same stuff over and over again. I just kept feeding myself. So 2017 was just like a big blessing. And along this journey, people have come in and out of my business, right? I've had my business at its highest, and I've also had it at its lowest. I've had, you know, from one supervisor quitting on me, basically, you know, new rebuild org, keep rebuilding org. It's always a rebuild stage. So it's not something you're just going through. I'm going through it as well. And you're going to have to continuously do this, right? And so a lot of the things that I started doing in 2017 is revamping. So when I actually finished February and I was like, we are going to stay here. We're going to get to work. We're going to do whatever it takes. I started going to the bars, not to drink. I literally was finding all my customers at the old spots that I used to go to in college. I kid you not. I would just go up to the bar by myself, sit there and be like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you since college. We would start conversations. I popped like 3 distributors that way. I was getting hella customers, 25 customers in February, basically full programs from meeting people. And the thing about it is, I want you to wrap your head around it. Why do people go to bars, right? They're wanting to relieve stress. That finds them comfort. And so I was like, cha-ching! I literally tapped into that, you know, in March. Back at the end of 2016, I connected with Matt and Alexa Hebert from San Antonio Millionaire Team members. they basically were like, I'm going to start a fit camp. We want you to contribute. You know, I connected with them. And then in March, we started an awesome fit camp. And so some of the methods that I've been using is I talk to everyone. What you see on social media, yes, it's an invite. And yes, you massively do it. If you're going to do social media, but use it as a gateway to invite people to, right? And so an attraction, right? It's not something that you just do on a daily basis. Like, you got to actually be doing stuff. And so little things that I do is social media, yes, but I'm doing it to attract people, right? I'm not massively sliding people's messages. Now I do chase likes, I do chase things, and that's one of the things. Like, you can privately message them, but I'm telling you, start conversation first by saying hello, you know, hi, how are you? Thank you for liking, thank you for supporting, you know, whatever it is. Thank you for being my friend, thank you for following me, and then introduce that, right? And so I was inviting to fit camps. We also started an STS in Corpus as well, and that was the first one was in May. And then, you know, just plugging into the people in that I was enrolling into the fit camps there, into the STSs, inviting them as guests. And so I literally was massively getting customers just by my daily actions. But I'm full time, right? I'm literally, that's all I got. That's how I eat. That's how I pay my bills. That's how I'm supposed to get myself out of financial, you know, distress. But how am I going to do that? By just protecting myself over social media. So what you see is not what you see, because you don't see the action being put into it. You got to do more. Yes, you can have high following, but what is that following doing? Are you plugging people into what you're doing? Are you enrolling them into some system? And so in 2016, like I said, was a big revamp. I started creating online structure. At the time, barely had a team, but man, we had a great 3-person team call. Like, cause I was like, I'm manifesting whatever people are going to be in my business, and I need to be the leader to be able to lead. Because if I can't lead one person, how can I lead an entire get team organization or press team organization? So I said, you know what, whatever, 3 people show up, all these people are going to get what I got. And so some of the people are on the line that are basically still here, and they're writers. They're the top producers in my business, because guess what? I saw who was going to be there, but I worked with who I had, right? And, you know, the team structure that I have, Monday team call, I started doing guest speakers. Steven has been a guest speaker on my call, forever grateful, because, you know, just anybody's story is additional, right? And so you need to be a collection of stories. And so that's what I keep telling my team, get on the call. I'm not going to tell you what happens. You got to get on the call and learn yourself. For those who are on the call, never knew my story. I mean, Kylie and Orlando, I've known them for the past like year or two, and basically they never heard my full story. And most people aren't going to hear it until you hit press team, or until you say, no matter what, cool, I'd love to do your call, right? They'll hit me up and be like, hey, what are you doing? Like, can I pick your brain for a second? Can you let me know what's going on? And I'm going to be a no matter what, because you know what? I see them working. And I'm not saying don't give your contribution to people who basically isn't, you know, producing, but just know protect your energy. So all I've been doing this year is just protecting my energy and what I'm giving out to people, right? And so things that I've been doing, by the way, is I'm focusing on myself a lot, because when you focus on yourself, everything works out for you. You can't take care of anybody. You can't want it more than they want it for themselves. And so I'm going to kind of wrap some things up right here. So in August, right after Extravaganza, right, you get what you focus on. Kid you freaking not. I was like, retail. What happened with the switch? You got to recruit. And kind of recruiting was the theme of Extravaganza this year. And I was like, man, I got to recruit some more serious people. I got to get back. So I'm wearing the work from home, ask me how button. I'm getting what I'm focusing on. This is what I'm going to talk to people about. I'm talking about the opportunity, because the first thing I'm going to tell you is you got to be a product of the product, right? We already know that. So how you're bringing people in, right? The 72-hour game plan that you're giving them, whatever it is, have a structure that people want to join your team, right? I want to join your team because of this, right? And so things that I'm messaging people is like, you know, and keep an open mind. And, you know, I know Kylie and Orlando would love to share with y'all basically the retelling structure that I have. And it's just a small, simple message. But one thing that I'm telling you, I After I say what I say, they say yes. If they say yes, I'm saying cool. Shoot me a text. The opportunity is with Herbalife Nutrition. If it still resonates with you and it's something you still want to do, then hit me up. Because in the past, I never said Herbalife Nutrition. I don't want to make it a secret. No, it's with Herbalife Nutrition if you want this. So cool. What I started doing, though, is when I get them on the text message, I'm saying, cool, when's the best time I can talk with you? And then we set a time to talk, or, we said when we can get on the phone. And so little things like that is literally going to help your business. So I know I'm going fast, but this is something that I do whenever I get excited, because I'm telling you, this is just where it's at. So I started doing a little board. You can buy this board at the dollar store, right? And so I'm already having the marketing plan on the board, and I'm literally teaching them the marketing plan. After they say they want to make money, I'm going to show you how to make the money. And after I get done with this is retail, wholesale, and then I flip the board and I'm like, yo, it just got real, because this is where I learned how to go full time, right? And I'm kind of just giving them examples, right? And I literally, with that, been able to recruit, like, I'm recruiting like no other, right? And so you see the posts. Sometimes you don't see the posts because I don't want to be shouted out, but it's cool, no problem. They still popping, right? And so I've added a lot of new people to my team because I know new solves all, right? And I also, shout out to Kimmy on the line, because when Hurricane Harvey came and hit Corpus and hit surrounding areas, I evacuated. Mind you, I had been to Austin in January, and I had also been here in May. But what I actually came and actually had downtime, I linked up with Kimmy and Cam. They've been powerful in the development of, this 90-day plan. And so me and Kimmy locked arms. I actually, after being here for 2 weeks, we traveled, we contributed to my hometown, got very much destroyed. A lot of my business during that month went down, but you know what? I stayed positive. People were like, how are you so positive during this time? Stay positive no matter what. Be there for people. And I was just there. You have to understand, my whole business is in the South. Almost all my preferred members got affected because I was checking up with them and I was asking them how they were doing at first. But I kid you not, they still were ordering their plan. And I literally took a big hit, about a $1,300 off my wholesale check for them that month. And then the next month, literally rocketed and more, right? It literally skyrocketed. And what I did, though, is I created a 90-day plan. I don't know what that looks like for you. For me, it's this amazing little binder. My top skill is organization. I had a lot of these in college. But I formulated this dope binder. I can't tell you how to make your 90-day plan, but my 90-day plan is accessible. It's in front of me. I bring my little binder with me everywhere I go because a lot of the stuff that's in here is recorded. So what I have is I document everything, right? Documentation is the key to everything. So I literally, if I'm having a business talk with someone, I'm writing their name and I'm writing things down, right? And I use blank sheets of paper. I don't like any grid work. I want it all. And so I was kind of taught that skill by, being in the medical field, just to kind of dictate whatever we talked about. And so I'm gauging my numbers. I'm gauging how many business talks I'm having a day, how many contacts that I'm making a day, how many people I'm talking to about the business a day. And little things like that. I started my 90-day plan. Oh, there you go. I started my 90-day plan, and you locked arms and locked it with Kimmy. She's been a huge blessing. After a week of going back to Corpus, I decided again I was gonna, give everything away in my house again, and I was just gonna pack my car up and move here, and that's exactly what I did. They had an extra bedroom. Yeah, they had an extra bedroom, and we just had this amazing vision that, I formulated a new why. My new why is it's to go to Cancun, but not just go to Cancun. It's to go and be able to bring my mom with me. And so I literally am there. I'm there, and my work ethic has increased since I moved. It's literally nonstop. I will do whatever it takes to go because I want to be able to, for those who don't know, I came into this business not expecting anything from anyone. I came into this business with a sponsor I'm forever grateful for, but what I actually came in here for, hungry. I came in hungry for finding out who I've always been meant to be. And I want to be able to take care of my future life, right? I want to be able to have my mom not be married because she has to, because she gets disability. I want her to be able to have a flourishing life and give her back, you know, things that we didn't have, that she sacrificed so that we can live, right? And so little things like that, I look at my mom and I FaceTime her all the time now. I don't have the relationship with my family. I'm literally like the black sheep in my life. And I hated being that. And that's why I stayed with Herbalife, because Herbalife has literally been the family that I never had. It's been the connection that I've been missing and wanting my whole life. But what it's allowed me to do, it's allowed me to reconnect with my family. So when I lost my father, I got to reconnect with him, and then I lost him. And then now I don't want to lose my mom. I want to be so connected with my mom on another scale. And so I fight for that every single day. Whenever I wake up, I'm like, what can I do today? How can my energy be? How many T's do I need in my system to get out there and go talk to people? What can I do to be a no matter what? And so just in this short amount of time here in Austin, I'm not scared to talk to anybody. I'm getting out there. You know, I was getting clients before I even moved here. And that's why I was like, I'm going with the flow, right? And so the current book that I'm reading is The Power of the Flow, right? And so it's just an amazing thing what you can do if you manifest things. And so I'm going with the flow because I don't want to be a control freak, right? I tend to control things, and I kind of let that go too. Like, what can I do today to be a better Amanda, right? What can I do today to be able to take care of myself for the future? And so my overall goals is basically that, right? And so every single day I look at the countdown to Punta Cana, and it's happening. It's happening whether, you know, I go alone or not. I'm there. Like, that, I want the team to come with me. I'm pushing every single day to be the best leader that I can. But you have to understand, your leaders, they're here to support you, but they're not here to hold your hand. They're not here to walk you along the journey. What they're here to do is just continue to be a light. So the fact that Stephen got to go somewhere for his 30th birthday is one thing. And I love that you actually shared that, because what that does is that allows to paint a picture to be painted for every single person, that they can do the same thing too, right? That they can take control of their life, and, you know, and no matter what. So, those are just some of the things. And so I'll just leave it with that, and just let you understand that, you know, I wouldn't be on this journey if it wasn't for Powerful Sidelines. Like, I never looked up for anything. I go to the events. The events is my sponsor. The events is my mentor. I go there because I meet powerful people like Kyler in Orlando, Stephen Crawford, by the way, shout out to his meal plan. He gave me dope results that also exceeded my business, right? I remember telling him, like, I want to do an NPC competition. Like, don't focus on another person's goal. And that's where I went wrong. I focused on what other people looked like instead of being and enjoying the journey. So I've learned to enjoy the journey. The food is great. The gains is real. Attracting a lot more people. And the crazy thing is, you are going to attract people, but learn to focus less on the distractions, because totally a lot of different, you know, thirst comes and goes. But what I tell you is, if you were serious about it, you can flip that. And I'm literally flipping people who are sliding in the DMs for the wrong intentions. Like, half the time they become my distributors or become my preferred members or become a client. Like, you know, I'm telling you, you get what you focus on. So if you're literally focused on a brand new you results. So y'all did y'all's takeaways from LDW. So we had 30K Chief Executive Jill Addy. Okay. And we also had 50K Enrique Carrillo. Y'all, powerful. I sat next to Julia. Shout out to you, because we were in VIP, and, like, you know, we were turned the whole weekend with just, like, powerful minds. Ellen, I see you on here too. And Deontay, like, like to be able to link arms with powerful people is amazing. So I sat next to Julia. You know, we were just like sitting here like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. We were looking at each other, and I could feel we were both in alignment, and I can feel such an alignment with what I'm doing right now. So it was more clarity than anything that what I'm doing, just stick to it and massively do it. We're doing a small increment since Extravaganza because everything we know is new, but I'm telling you, massively do it. So not just apply your knowledge, massively apply your knowledge. And that's how you're going to excel and be President's Team member, walking across the stage, 15K President's Team member, 2 diamonds, Extravaganza 2018, Houston, Texas, where it all started. That's what's going to happen, right? And so things that I started looking at, my powerful takeaway that I really started looking at is making a scorecard and rating yourself. Like, be you, but only compete with who you were yesterday. So rate yourself. What's your scorecard? Are you a good product result person? Where's that at on a scale of 1 to 10? How do you package your story on a scale of 1 to 10? So if you meet someone, is it a 30-second story? I absolutely love follow what Kylie and Orlando do and their little stories that they do on social media, because that's what you need, right? You need like a share. You need to be able to package your story, because if it's an elevator story, literally you got like a couple of seconds and you don't even know what floor they're going to stop on. But that could be your President's Team member if they're on the floor above you and you're just like, oh my gosh, I just got to like get it out, right? And just do it. And then 3 invites, where are you at on a scale of 1 to 10? Wellness profiles, yo. Ain't nobody talking to me unless they feel like that wellness profile. I'm telling you, they're like, hey, how can I join your 21-day challenge? Hey, I have an awesome online wellness profile. It takes a couple seconds to fill out. I'll shoot you the link. Give me your phone number. Literally, or here's my phone number. Text me and I'll send you the link. I'm getting everybody off of social media. So if you don't have that activate it on your Go Herbalife site. Learn how to recommend carts and basically kill it with these wellness profiles. I literally put a 10 because I'm doing like 20 wellness profiles a day. I'm sending out recommended carts left and right. It's a seed planted. They may not purchase right then and there, but I'm telling you, there's power behind sending those recommended carts, right? And so wellness profiles, how are you teaching the marketing plan? Y'all, like, learn how to do this. It's a napkin presentation. But when you Zoom with people, learn how to do this. Show them how to make the monies, right? Aside from, HOMs. And then events, right? And so where are you at on going to events, and not just events as far as like STSs and stuff? How do you show up on your calls? Are you on all the calls? Y'all, I'm on all the calls. I'm on multiple calls. I go to multiple STSs every single month. Actually, this month, next month, I'm going to 2 LDWs this month. I will be in South Padre Island this upcoming weekend. I can't wait. 80K Chairman's Club member Raquel Cortez, and 20K President's Team member Style Bells. Yes, going to be there. I'm not missing that. And then on top of that, in November, I'm going to 3 STSs. Like, I go to multiple events. I can't wait. Get on multiple calls. Always be a contributor and show up no matter what, because you never know what call is going to change the game for you. So be present and take notes and take massive action. So I'll leave that there. Kind of is at 10 o'clock. So if anybody has any questions.
Hey, Kimmy, can you please go to the other room and open that door, fan that girl off, give her some, thank you. You open the door, whatever you got to do, because wow. Thank you so much. You was on fire. My palms are sweating like I was talking on stage. Wow, thank you so much. So my pages are full. I'm gonna leave it open for questions or thank yous right now. It's past 10, but stay on the line.
I'm on. Already, it's Adrian. Hit the mute button. You're slipping. I'm first. Man, listen, man. Listen here, man. Listen here. Listen here. Damn, Daniel. Like, if y'all listen, people talk about doing Herbalife. People talk about being about that life. But what I just heard, especially in the last 15, 20 minutes, between the passion and then what she actually talked about was somebody who was really about that life. People talk all day about really thinking that they do. Oh, it's cute to say I do Herbalife, or it's cute to, hashtag we do Herbalife, or about that life, or best life. But this is somebody who I just heard who is extremely about that life, who has a lot of things that happen to them. They're not letting it get in the way. Talked about 90-day plans. Hello to those who are in the 90-day accountability group that we have. Hello to already having a 90-day plan mapped out for you, and all the things she talked about. All I know is that I heard somebody who's far beyond active world team member. I heard somebody who was far beyond active world team. I heard a tab team member tonight, and somebody who is extremely ready for the next teaching the marketing plan, going to multiple events, making it a no matter what, waking up every single day and letting that be your focus, and not letting other things distract you from your goals, and chasing the promotions. And listen, you got to go to the Herbalife vacations. They treat you real well. I'll see you in Punta Cana, by the way. So I don't know. I'm almost speechless. I didn't know that was going to happen. I know all them bars is going to fall out your mouth the last 20 minutes. But I appreciate you and thank you. And I'm going to give other people the opportunity to go because I'll talk all night. But I smelled, felt, and heard greatness tonight. Thank you very much.
It's the Hansons right here. No, I'm a be 100. I looked at Steven a couple times because every time you hit a point, Queen, I looked at him because I was like, dang, he about to say something, or he about to do something. Because you was right. I'm on point with everything, and he is so correct when he say this is not an active world team member. This is not. I mean, I swear on my life it's not. I just got back from LDW. And when I tell you I would leave LDW, first off, close my restaurant. I wouldn't go to sleep till 3 a.m. I had to wake back up at 6 a.m. to make sure I'm back at LDW by 8 a.m. because it's an hour and some change away from me. I've been dead tired. When I tell you, you woke me to freak up, and I'm talking about 2 days in a row, we're probably getting what? Like 7 hours? Probably 7 hours of sleep in 2 days. You just woke me up. The LDW didn't even wake me up like you just woke me up. I appreciate that. 100, I appreciate that. I want you to feel that in your heart. For real, for real. Thank you, man. I can't talk to you no more because I'm messing around and pass out.
Wait, I'm next before anybody take the mic. Hey, I'm Annie, first off. I have to piggyback. First of all, my voice is gone from LDW for some reason, but LDW didn't even wake me up. I've been driving for 6.5 hours to get back home. You just woke me all the way up. I thought I was going to sleep. No, I want to go to work. So I just want to say thank you so much. I related to you on so many different levels. I can't wait to see you in Punta Cana with our moms. You fired me up with that. You fired me up with the alcohol. I just want to say thank you. Never heard of you until I hopped on the call and I seen the flyer and I was like, don't know who this is, but okay. Can't wait to get on the call. Happy I did. Happy I stayed in every second of the call. And I can't wait to listen to it again tomorrow morning. So thank you so much. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. You're freaking amazing too.
Wow.
Yo, can I go?
Anybody? Yes, we stand on this line, and I'm not getting off. I don't know what's about to happen, but I'm not getting off. So go ahead, Jay.
All right, yo, man. Everybody just said, man. I'm just the same way. LDW was good as well, but this right here, yo, the last few minutes, yo, you was just going in, no games, and you going in, everything you said. Like Adrian was saying too, I was looking at Steven because Steven said the same thing you say, going to events, doing these 90-day plans. He mapped it out for us. He did all that. And we just stay accountable for everything because a 90-day plan will work out. But, I mean, we just stay consistent and everything. But it's just man, everything you said, showing us, right there, you can go into multiple. You're not just going to one, you're going to three. I ain't gonna cuss, but you doing it it's just you doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see why you're an active world team, but beyond that, like, shoot, president team, that's gonna be you. I mean, like, you killing it, man. I mean, 3 events. I was just like, damn, you go 3 events. You know what I'm saying? Like, no excuses. You show up no matter what. Show up no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, I'm just like, I'm speechless, like, because like, personal development. You just hit everything on the head. Like, it was just more. I was just fired up. I'm sitting here in my car. I'm sitting here screaming and stuff. I'm like, oh, like she going in, like, no games. You got the little 90-day mapped out, everything. I was just like, yo. And another thing too, you saying like your scorecard stuff. Before we got on this call, Steven was talking about your report card and stuff. Like, you grade yourself and everything. It's like, I was just like, man, everything you just said, Steven just said before we got on this call. So I was like, damn, like, was she with Steven or something? Because Steven just said about the little scorecard. He said the report card, though. It's the same thing. Like, you grade yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do this 90-day plan, so you grade yourself. You wake up every day intentionally, you want to do this, you want to do that. But what are you really doing? Oh, yeah, I want to retire my mom. That's my goal. Putting my stuff out there to go change these people's lifestyle around. And I'm really going to do that. Like, boy, I'm sitting on my ass, scrolling on social media all day, every day, wasting time, not being productive, because that's wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? You got to get off the social media. You got to go, work, and everything. So you got me fired up. I can keep talking, but I'm going to stop. I'm going to let somebody else go. So grab the mic, whatever y'all want to do. I'm done.
Let me tell y'all this about social media. You are winning on social media when you meet someone who's like, you are the same exact person on social media as you are in person. I kid you not. So many people have followed me that I got in contacts with from any city that I'm in, and they literally meet me or like we connect on the phone and they're like, yo, you're the same. You really are cool. Like, you ain't just all you supposed to be, right? Posts. There you go. So like little things like that, that's how you actually know your social media is being effective, but you have to get out there. You literally have to do invites. Invite people to your social media if you don't have anything to invite them to. But I know y'all all got something, and create something. And so stay tuned. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm tired of the social media game. I love getting traffic. I can say most always I get all my clients from social media and challenges and stuff. But one thing is utilize whatever is around you and plug people into that, right? And so fit camps or like, nutrition shops, in-person wellness evaluations, in services, whatever it is, plug people in there. But I kid you not, like, make it a point to like get out there and post stuff in the community, because people want to see that you're like real. And some people are like, oh, you're real. Are you real? Like, they'll message you that and like, yeah, here's my number, FaceTime me or get on Zoom and like actually meet me. And if you meet people outside of social media, and even texting, it can only do so much. Like, schedule a time to actually physically look at people's faces and talk to them. That's why, like, if anybody wants these nutrition plans or if anybody wants this business opportunity, like, you got to get with me on the phone. Like, we got to talk aside from social media.
Wow. Thank you. So, I mean, Kylie might have some more stuff to say, but Amanda, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is crazy because Kylie and I, like, we look up to you, believe it or not. That's one of the main reasons why we've connected and, asked you the questions, especially about building a business that we did. And we would always talk about, like, wow, there's no way Amanda is active world team. And everybody's saying it on the call, there's no way you're active world team, because the way you're producing, the way you're speaking, the volume that's coming out of these distributors that are just coming through, the way you're planting your seeds, everything is just in conjunction of not being an active world team member. And it's just awesome to see, because you're going to be double cutting. That's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen. A lot of blueprint.
Man, a lot of blueprint. You're gonna double cut. I have, no doubt in that. So we thank you. We're gonna go ahead and end the call here. So if you guys have any questions, I'm sure, Amanda wouldn't mind you guys sliding in the DM after this call, or maybe in the future. So please do that, even if it's just to say thank you. if this hit you. What we're gonna do is make sure that our team that's not on, we're gonna hopefully, let them watch this recording. We're gonna watch it tomorrow because why not? And again, thank you guys. I'm gonna open up the line so everybody can say goodnight. Again, thank you, Amanda. This call was
fire. It's your boy Tiny all day, every day.
Good night.